are giving fire safety reminders when it comes to pets this holiday season. And one Eastern Kentucky's own is helping disaster victims on a national scale.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Caroline Mueller. Today's date is Thursday, December 4th, and the time is now 5:31. Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmel for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, it is just absolutely frigid out there.
Yes.
Like I was telling you just a little bit ago, my fingers were like frozen yesterday when I was outside trying to shoot some video. So I'm really a little worried that's going to be the case again today.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have good news on that front for you. It's in fact colder than it was yesterday. So imagine yesterday and just turn that dial just a little bit down in terms of those temperatures. Also, we do have a chance for some flurries this morning. Here's a look at that satellite and radar. Seeing a little bit of that flurry activity in McCreary and Wayne County. And as you kind of zoom out just a little bit, you are going to see some more flurry activity just north of Kentucky. That will give us some impacts over the next couple of hours, but really most of the region will be staying dry and cold. Here's a look at those cold temperatures this morning. Everyone is below freezing with the exception of Pikeville and Somerset at that freezing point, 32 degrees. So it's very chilly this morning. Please bundle up and wear those gloves so that your fingers don't freeze. Here's a look at those high temperatures, mostly the mid to upper 30s, with a few folks hitting that 41 degree mark for the day. High temperatures will be around that 3 o'clock time frame. Caroline.
Megan, thank you. Highway 80 remains closed this morning following a car crash. It's near the former Bearville Market building on your way to Hazard. It follows a single vehicle crash and rock slide. The person was trapped in the vehicle but has since been rescued. The Transportation Cabinet personnel continue to remove debris. We'll have updates as we learn more. 2 people were taken to a hospital following a crash that involved a KSP cruiser. That collision happened a little before 5:30 Tuesday night on Kentucky 80 near Hindman. Police say Anthony Bersaglia, who is not a trooper, was behind the wheel of a patrol vehicle when it hit another vehicle. He was reportedly driving from the Hazard KSP post to his garage for maintenance on the cruiser. He was not hurt. The driver of the other vehicle, Deborah Wallen, and a young passenger were taken to the Hazard ARH to be treated for possible minor injuries. One man was arrested on rape charges in Pulaski County. Deputies with the sheriff's office charged 35-year-old Aaron Acton last week. Police were responding to a complaint they received. After collecting evidence in the case, police took Acton into custody. He was taken to the Pulaski County Detention Center and his bond was set at $100,000 cash. In Louisville, UPS and several other corporations are the target of 2 new wrongful death lawsuits surrounding the crash of UPS Flight 2976. The new lawsuits were filed by families of 2 people killed on the ground. Sam Aguiar Injury Lawyers of Louisville and Clifford Law Offices of Chicago have filed the suits on their behalf. They claim several companies, including UPS and GE, who made the engine, failed to ensure the MD-11 was still safe to fly. 14 people were killed in the crash last month.
Trina was a sister, mother, and friend to everyone. But she was also much more than that. Nana really was the heartbeat of this family. We want to make Nana proud and do for her children what Nana always did for us. Care for them and protect them.
The crash happened on November 4th. 2 people were arrested in London after police found them screaming in a church parking lot around 1:30 a.m. yesterday. Laurel County deputies charged 35-year-old Justin Hammonds and 37-year-old Ashley Mills with assault and alcohol intoxication in a public place. They say the 2 were screaming at each other and had visible injuries. EMS was called to check out the injuries before they were taken to jail. In Floyd County, the case against a man charged with murder in connection with a woman's death is heading to a grand jury. Joshua Gayhart was arraigned last week. He was arrested in connection with Sarah Sloan's death. KSP got a call about Sloan being found unresponsive at a home in the Beaver area back on November 21st. Sloan's body was sent to the state medical examiner's office for an autopsy. More chaos in London last night as Mayor Randall Weddle canceled the City Hall meeting before it got started. He said it was because of overcrowding and potential violations to the state's open meeting laws. The council was set to discuss transparency and worker pay ordinances after a contentious session earlier this week. Councilman Judd Weaver appealed the decision and the situation escalated. At one point, Weaver and the mayor were shouting at each other.
I appeal your decision.
The meeting is not in session, so you have no powers right now.
Just for the record, I appeal your. I understand, but
Okay.
I disagree with what you're saying.
You're a liar. System way. You're a liar.
During the chaos, fire alarms also activated the chambers. Video we obtained shows them blaring as council members remain seated. The council plans to attempt to meet again tonight. As you decorate your home for the holidays, officials are giving fire safety reminders when it comes to your pets. Fire crews say allowing pets to roam free around decorations can be dangerous. One Wisconsin fire chief says a family in that state lost everything and 2 of their 4 pets ahead of the holidays. He wants to remind families to consider placements of decorations when leaving a pet at home by themselves.
The Christmas tree issue is kind of a unique one because if you put lights on the tree, animals will have a tendency to gnaw on wires.
The chief added that there are home security cameras people can buy that connect to fire detectors. Families would get a notification to their phones within seconds if the detectors sound off. Tuesday, we told you about Giving Tuesday, a way for folks to give back to groups and communities they love the most. While many larger nonprofit organizations participate yearly, so do some smaller schools. WYMT's McKinley Calandrino spoke to some of those school leaders in Johnson County who are working together to raise funds.
As a larger part of Giving Tuesday, schools in eastern Kentucky are taking part in the fundraising campaigns, hoping to raise money for needs unique to their campuses. For the Pieris School, director for the theater department, Jasmine Lykin, says they have raised 19% of their goal, partially for a new stage.
We are trying to replace that stage not only for our shows, but for broader community events, for graduation and other club ceremonies and things of that nature. We want this to be something that our whole school community can use.
And podcasting equipment, so students have the opportunity to explore different career paths.
I think our students would really enjoy getting experience in that because we are a college prep school, but we also want to help students get some of their career goals in mind.
And just down the street, Our Lady of the Mountains is raising money to replace the 113-year-old roof, which continues to experience leaking.
It definitely is something that affects the students, and so we're really hoping to be able to replace the roof so that we can continue serving students for decades and decades to come.
And while the schools have completely different needs, they are working to support each other through the I Give Catholic campaign.
I think the question is, how do we help and how do we continue these legacies of these people who put so much care and effort into our community? And that's really important to me.
And while the arts are extremely important, and I would love to have our things, we need roof on that building. We need a roof. Those kids deserve a nice, safe building.
Working together to continue educating the future of Eastern Kentucky. In Johnson County, McKinley Calandrino, WYMT Mountain News.
For more information on how to help, just find this story on WYMT.com or the WYMT News app. One of Eastern Kentucky's own is helping disaster victims on a national scale. Whitney Bailey is a disaster resource attorney for Apple Red Legal Aid. She has helped hundreds of natural disaster survivors with legal issues, such as the recent floods and tornado in eastern Kentucky. She was recently appointed to serve a year term on the National Voluntary Organizations Active in Disaster, or VOAD. She says the point of the committee is to share knowledge and resources throughout the nation.
And what can we do to keep disaster survivors moving forward with whatever legal issues might pop up during a disaster, because of a disaster, or even, years later, you're still a disaster survivor.
Bailey says to be considered one of the subject matter experts in the disaster legal world for the country is a rewarding feeling, and she's excited to serve on a national scale. One Lawrence County native was named Kentucky's best grocery bagger. Gabe Bowling competed against 12 other contestants in the Kentucky Best Bagger competition in October. Bowling ended up winning a cash prize worth $250 and an all-expense-paid trip to Las Vegas. The 18-year-old will compete for the national title at the National Grocers Association convention in February. Holiday spirit is filling the air and the ARH Medical Mall in Hazard. Yesterday, the facility was filled with vendors sharing the message of their organizations. Many small businesses were there selling crafts such as jewelry, holiday decor, baked goods, and more. ARH provided free health screenings and wellness resources, and some organizations were there to let folks know what resources they offer.
We are a men's treatment facility out of West Liberty. We are a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, and a 6-month program, DOC approved. And if any males that are seeking treatment, we are here to help them. And they're not just another number to us. We really care about these people, and we want to see them get better.
Sparks says it was a blessing to be at the event on behalf of the center. He says events like these are important to let folks know what resources are available to help. Some in Kentucky saw snow this week. Crews put down salt that helped keep roads clear, but the aftermath of that can hurt our cars. Kevin Brogerdy is the shop manager at Tag's Body Shop in London. He says rust can be a big problem for cars, and there's not many places that will even try and fix it.
Is it fixable? To a degree, yeah, but is it worth the investment? I mean, down the road, probably not. Like I said, a lot of people don't want to do rust repair. People call and ask us all the time about it, and we have to tell them the same thing. Like, look, we don't do rust repair, and they ask, for recommendations, but I really don't know anybody else in town that does do rust repair, unless it's like a restoration.
Brogerdy says depending on the weather, you should prepare to wash your car at least a few times during the winter. Coming up, an unlikely pair joins forces to take on evil. We'll tell you who in a look of today's Ion Entertainment Report.
And another snow chance is on the way. I can tell you how much you need to expect coming up.